Oh my gosh!
Even from the air, it's hard to grasp the scope of the loss. On the ground, individual scenes of horror.
This is not even the worst of it. Still get dead bodies in the water, floating, and on the seawall. They've been sitting there since last night. We've been pulling people out since last night.
The death toll certain to rise.
We do know that more people have perished. We also are only now getting some of our search and rescue personnel into other houses. There are helicopters floating around the community right now. That number is going to go up very significantly.
Lahaina, a tourist town home to 12,000 people, is flattened. Homes, livelihoods, gone.
Everyone that I know and love, everyone that I'm related to, that I communicate with, my colleagues, friends, family, we're all homeless.
From governments, promises to help.
Anyone who's lost a loved one whose home has been damaged or destroyed is going to get help immediately.
The scale of this disaster is rattling confidence in systems designed to protect people. There are reports 911 wasn't working, no internet or phone service for days. Not surprising to people who plan for emergencies.
Unfortunately, communications are a huge challenge in the disaster context. These are the moments when the systems are under the highest amount of strain and stress, and they're also vulnerable to the same kinds of disruption that we're experiencing.
We had no connection to the outside world for almost 3 days.
Natalie Barsasat is from BC. She spent the night in a rental car in a Walmart parking lot after being rescued from her hotel by the National Guard.
This poor woman was crying next to me, holding her 3-month-old baby. Her house was burnt down. Her dog died in the fire, and she couldn't get hold of her husband, who was somewhere near her old house. And it was just horrifying.
Barsasat has a flight home. She's worried, though, for the people who can't leave, that the horror for those who live here is still unfolding. Lindsay Duncombe, CBC News, Vancouver.
That devastation is so intense. It all seemed to happen so quickly. To help break down what is going on here, we are joined by Stephen Businger, a meteorologist at the University of Hawaii. So, Stephen, fire plus those hurricane force winds, clearly critical ingredients here. But what else was going on in Maui before? What sort of conditions were developing on the ground that factored in?
Well, this time of year, which is sort of middle of summer, typically the lee side of Maui is very dry, and there are a lot of invasive grasses that occur there since the agriculture, the sugarcane growing was no longer taking place. Then it's replaced by these dry grasses. It is true that we had more rainfall during the wintertime, which allowed the grasses to become a little fuller and deeper. And then this summer was quite dry, a bit drier than normal, so that the circumstances certainly were primed for this event. But I think that it was really the unusual strength of the winds that caused the event.
And so if we're looking to the future, what do you think people there should be prepared for now? Not just in Maui, but on some of the other islands?
Well, it's interesting because this kind of wildfire we have also seen in California. And in California, the power company has decided that they are going to be very vigilant and turn off the power in advance of forecasts of downslope windstorms or very, very strong winds. And I think that's a model that Hawaii has to adopt as well.
That's important to think about. All right, Stephen Businger, thank you very much, sir.